Hello again and welcome back to the Glamorous Studio. Well, over the months we've received several requests to deal with textured skin, and which is why we have Priyanka here today, and she's really kindly offered to lend her face to sort out these problems that we all seem to be constantly dealing with. There's so many questions that have come up about how to wear basic daily makeup on textured skin. So I'm going to get started. Let's start with the basics, which I think is skincare. As I've repeated in several videos, I won't take too much time over it, but there always has to be moisturizer underneath a primer. Sun protection also goes a long way in eradicating or lightening hyperpigmentation, which is one of the greater issues that we Indian women face being colored. So basically, once you have your sunscreen on, I would prefer that you use sunscreens that are gel-based because they tend not to change color. Because sometimes products change color on the face once they oxidize, and that actually dulls your makeup even further. Well, the first myth that I'd like to break is that you need to use a lot of product to cover this kind of skin. Not at all. It's absolutely the opposite of that. The lesser product you use, the better the effect will be. Also, makeup, remember, is not going to cover the indentations or the pock marks or the deep little holes that are across the face. It only creates the illusion of a smooth surface. I'm going to get started with the correcting methods. Now, over all these kind of slightly purpley dark patches that you see across her face, particularly along the cheek, under the eyes, on the sides of the forehead and around the mouth, I'm going to use an orange corrector to just blank that out as much as I can. And then I'll bring the whole complexion back to try my best to match the clarity on the skin around the neck and chest. With this simple step, a lot has been covered. There's a fair amount of a difference between this side and this one. So now I'm going in with the foundation, and I'm using a cream stick foundation because I find that blending with this is easy and it offers a little hydration to the skin. So another reason why I'm using this color is, if you notice, it's very close to the color on her neck. And I do want to kind of bring the face and the neck as close as possible in general. So I'm leaving that there as a swatch. And I'm going to start with the center of her face to brighten and use a small amount. While it looks very creamy right now, it does set very well, set to a nice matte finish, which is ideal for this kind of skin type. So I'm getting a good amount of the foundation in. You may use a sponge if you prefer, but I somehow always work better with brushes. So it's a personal choice. It's not my way or the highway. So by all means, use a tool of your choice. I'm using a brush, a buffing brush, to just blend this into her skin. Be careful when there's a lot of skin color difference between the concealer and the foundation. You want to get enough product into the hairline as well, so it looks quite seamless on the edges. So now I feel like I've gotten somewhere close. So remember that it'll never be a bang-on match unless you keep working at it. So I'm trying really to just get as close as I can. Now I'll go back to the corrector palette and take a tiny bit of a pale yellow just to brighten the under eye, because I'm not really using a concealer here. Okay. Again, this is something, if you have, you can do it. Otherwise, you can brighten it with your concealer. That works too. So that's what I'm trying to do. Very tiny amount. So now I've kind of largely arrived at a place that seems all right for now. But remember that you don't have to jump into this whole procedure. You can tweak as it goes. Now I'm going to get on with the powder. Now, powder is an important part, especially in setting and mattifying this kind of a look. I always would prefer and advise that somebody with this skin texturization uses matte products, because mattes really, take the part that you don't want to focus on out of focus. So, for example, this textured skin that she has here, once it's mattified, it recedes further in the perception of another's eye, and that's pretty much how you want this makeup to look. And mattes also tend to give the illusion of freshness for longer periods of time. The minute you add anything shimmery over it, it loses its freshness and actually starts looking more oily, exactly what you're trying to avoid in this kind of skin texture. So I'm just going to pat on a good amount of either loose powder, or you can use a compact setting powder, that's also fine. So this is largely how you can deal with the textured skin on a basic level. Because the makeup is really simple, I'm going to draw every feature into focus. So definitely, because the eye makeup is going to be very subtle and muted, I would like the eyebrows to be very groomed, because it actually creates a good frame for the eye makeup. So nothing too elaborate, just keeping it very simple, going with the natural dark brown. I wouldn't recommend very shiny eyeshadows for use in the day, but having said that, it's a matter of choice. I prefer always to wear warm neutrals which are matte finished on the eyes, and I just feel that again, it's a matter of freshness, longevity of freshness. It keeps your makeup looking fresh and bright through the day, and actually it requires minimum touch-up. So I'm going with a warm brown, very, very matte and soft brown all over her eyes, just a wash of it across the eyelids. So if you're doing neutrals, keep them warm with the hints of red and orange and peach in them. I'm just going to do a small display of that. I'm using an amber eyeshadow in a slightly sparkly finish. Again, I would just place it like a highlighter exactly where the light catches the eye. This looks flattering versus having a whole lid full of shimmer all through the day. But having said that, there are no rules to makeup, and it all depends on your personality and how far you would like to take it. Another thing I would advise about highlighting is most people again do tend to want highlighters on the brow bones, but I wouldn't recommend a very shimmery one for the day, because I just feel that this, again, it's a matter of freshness. I'm using a beige highlighter in a matte finish. Apply the highlighter and immediately blend with the same warm brown eyeshadow so it doesn't look like a band of color. This will brighten your very subtle eye makeup. But if you're somebody that likes to wear a bit of kohl, this is a great time to do it. So I'm going to do a very smudged out brown kohl pencil on the upper lid, really close to the lash line. Pick formulations that will stay for a good length of time, so you don't have to worry about retouching. Very gently smudge it out. Alright, so I'm done with her eye makeup, and it's really quite simple. While on the cheeks, I'm not going to do anything really elaborate. So I'm just going to go with a matte, fresh blush, and that'll be all on her cheeks. And then, of course, the main feature that will be in focus will be her lips. Alright, so this, I've just used a satin finish matte lipstick, so her lips stay hydrated. So this is something that's a very controllable environment, controllable makeup, but as you can see, a little bit goes a long way, and the whole point of it is to keep it matte, simple, and also the color choices, warm color choices make the entire makeup brighter. I hope this video was informative for you, and if you have anything to ask, please write to us and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible and answer as many questions as possible.